What's up, gamers? Zfarls here with my top 5 budget players in Madden NFL 18. First thing you have to know, ratings are completely different than in years past. There's not quite as many budget guys out there, but I do have some really good tips and some really good player recommendations in this video. My first tip would be that silver players are really what bronze players were last year, and gold players are really what silver players were. There's elites in the range of 80 to 85. Those are going to be your mid-tier guys, the guys who level up to second, the guys you spend a little bit extra on. But for the most part, your budget guys are going to be in gold. One thing we're always looking for is premier athletic ratings like speed and strength. Those can be easy to find still, but block shed, power move, those type of things are very tough to find. Zone coverage, very challenging this year. The last note is how I choose to play defense. I love putting outside linebackers at D-end. I love putting D-ends at DT to rush. I love putting DTs at D-end to stop the run. I love to have lots of guys on my roster and use RB subs at the play call menu. I personally don't consider free safety and strong safety to be any different. It's just whatever the role is. I don't really consider middle linebackers different from outside linebackers if they're playing a coverage role. If you're playing coverage, you're playing coverage. If you're playing pass rush, you're a pass rusher. It doesn't really matter to me where my guys line up as long as I know I'm getting the most value out of the ratings and getting them in the best position to win. If you guys want more on that, subscribe to this channel and I'll break down the exact defense that I use and where I like to sub in guys within each formation. Now that that's out of the way and you're ready to start your ultimate team, remember, whatever your favorite team you pick at the play call menu is, that's the playbook you get. Here are my top 5 budget guys to start. The first guy on my list is Dewey McDonald. He's an outside linebacker, but I think you'll probably want to try and give usering him a shot. I personally prefer guys that are a little bit taller, but silver, 84 speed, 6 feet tall. You cannot go wrong with Dewey in the middle to start the season. Next up is Michael Pierce. He's a left end. So what he brings to the table is 88 strength, very high strength rating with 79 block shed. That is pretty good in this year's game. I think he's a great run stuffing end in the 3-4. And then you can slide him in on third down situations, get your tackles out of there, and let Pierce try and go after the passer. In the secondary, Artie Burns. I love his balance. He's got 85 speed, which is right in a solid range. And then he has a good mix of man and zone. Normally, I play all man or all zone because it's really hard to get guys that do both. But Burns is right in that 74-75 range, which is pretty standard and you're going to find. Plus, he's got the speed and he lets you do a little bit more. So a guy like Jalen Ramsey, baby Artie Burns. I will play more man coverage this year. I've got some man guys recommended on my budget sheet, so make sure to check that out. I'll have that link in the description coming up. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm still working on it, but it will be put there shortly, and I want to share that with you guys. That's my Madden 18 sheet. I just finished defense tonight, and I'm doing offense shortly. Bryce Callahan at corner. Look, this is a guy who can give you good man coverage. His agility is very low, 81 for his 87 speed, 76 man, but what I'll say is, like I said, go all after man. You got to test these guys. He'll be somebody that I'll be putting in my lineup to see if he can hang in man coverage, or if I have to step up to the next level, like a Ronald Darby, that kind of next level of gold that I'm looking at. Right now, I'll give you one guy off my list who I'm going to see if they can get the job done. Bradley Roby, Eric Rowe are some other guys that I'm looking at from the Patriots. Next up at right outside linebacker, this is a very good run stuffing right outside linebacker. You can put him at D-end, you could just leave him. You don't really want to drop him into coverage. You kind of just want him to hold up the edge in the run game and not let guys get outside. 79 strength. He's got 82 power moves, so he can actually rush the passer pretty decently. And then he has 85 block shed. That's really, really high. Last up is JT Thomas. I've got some other coverage linebackers on my sheet, but this is just one budget guy that stood out to me. Even though he only has 76 speed, he's got 79 zone coverage, quite high for a gold, and he still has 71 zone, which is actually very high for a gold. So I like what JT Thomas brings to the table. Still has 70 block shed. At this point, I think he's really good to start your squad with and get that defense rolling. Like I said, I'll have more budget guys, so subscribe to this channel. I'm going to give you my offense coming up in a new video. We'll go over lineups and we'll talk more about how to get more wins in Madden 18. Hopefully this video helped, guys. Until next time, this is Zfarls reminding you to lock up. Remember, you get a lot of coins off your early solo challenges, so even though they're gold and you're saying, they're 3,000, I think you can. I really think you can ramp up a bunch of coins, really get that team going.
And welcome again, everybody, alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaud, and Larry, he took a moment to highlight the tight ends that we're going to see in this one. I know in our production meeting we were talking about what we wanted to highlight pregame.